previously, Ryouta was reincarnated to another world as a drop item from Monster after overworking himself for a toxic company. There he meets a cute girl named Emily and gets along with her. But Ryouta got a major bombshell on his head after seeing that he was stuck eternally at level 1, but there he found out his unique skills doubles heavy drop items from monsters. And more so, he found a dungeon where he could level up his skills to S rank, but still bro is an eternal level 1, then. Soon after he learned that if a drop item is left alone it can turn into a monster again known as Stray, but he saw that defeating a Stray gives him a cheat item such as a gun and elemental bullets. Then, as the story progresses, Ryouta and Emily saw a rare monster in a dungeon and wasted no time killing it. That monster dropped a rare chain item. And suddenly bro got serious and offers it to Emily. Our girl gets flustered thinking Ryouta is finally making a move on her. But Ryouta crushed her heart brutally because he gave that chain to her since it doubles the drop items. Poor Emily was cutely furious on Ryouta for being a knucklehead. Then Emily tries out the chain effects on bats and it dropped double the amount of loot. So at home Emily was cooking some of those bamboo shoots and Ryouta saw that kitchen is small for Emily to work, so he tells Emily that he wants to get a new house. But she thought Ryouta was going to leave separately and leave her behind, but Ryouta asked Emily what kind of house she likes and she realized Ryouta never thought of leaving her behind. But they still need to save money for a new house, so that's on a hold for now. After that Ryouta takes remaining bamboo shoots to the guild and a pretty lady showed her interest in them. Ryouta lets her have one of it and she peels it off in a flash to eat it, then she started crying out of happiness and purchased all of Ryouta's bamboo shoots. Ryouta didn't know her. So Urza tells him she's Eric Macy, a top-class foodie, and any food she approves will surely sells on high price in market. So Urza wanted to sign a contract to have exclusive right to sell his bamboo shoots, so Ryouta agreed because he trusts her judgment. Then Ryouta returns to Nihonium dungeon and saw a girl was about to fight a bones, but her lackey grabs that skeleton for her and she beats it and puts that head into their magic cart. There this old man tells him that she's Princess Margaret, and she's here because they discovered the monster here occasionally drops air, so they were storing it in an airbox to sell it. Ryouta was impressed and saw the magic cart and remembered he wanted one as well, so he tells Emily about it, but if they buy a magic cart they won't be able to get a new home. So Emily chooses to get a cart that could benefit them to bring back a lot of their loot. So the next morning they went to the cart store and saw Olga was crying out. She tells them her father didn't return from the arsenic dungeon while searching for flowers. So Emily and Ryouta went to the dungeon but their way was blocked, so Ryouta used his gun but it was useless against rock monsters, so Emily cleared the path and found out Orton was snoozing out freely. So Emily got lost and wakes him up because he left his daughter at home worrying for him, and here he slept like a log without a care. So there Orton tells them he wanted a part for his new custom-made cart, but the monster was as light as air and also those monster from earlier blocked his path. So Ryouta lifts up Emily and gets the item from Rock Monster, then they puts it outside to let it turn back into monster, and Orton runs to catch it before it flies away but he was too small. So Ryouta used his ice bullet and freezes the monster and Orton gets his item, then he finished his new cart and gives it to Ryouta. Ryouta acts modest and refused. But Orton reminds him how he saved the Sekro town from that giant gorilla, so he wants to repay the favor, so Ryouta gets the cart for free that comes handy for storing more loot. Then he goes to guild and saw a big guy wanted double the price for his item, and accused Urza of scamming, so Ryouta comes in to stop him, and took that guy's items and threw it in his cart. It has an evaluation system and the price comes what Urza had said, 8,400 coins, well, still the dude wouldn't take a no, so Ryouta puts him aside with a mini slap. But Urza got her mood down because she does her best to support adventurers who risked their lives for these items. There Ryouta cheers her up and tells her she could always rely on him if something like this comes up again. Then Urza gets flat and kissed him to let him know how she feels. Then in the dungeon our duo gets a nice loot and now they can finally afford a new and bigger house. But while packing their stuff Ryouta saw it was the first house they got, so he wasn't ready to say goodbye to this house, so he decided to keep it as a keepsake for their first memories. And used the money to buy a new shiny home. Then Emily was happily cooking in the kitchen and Ryouta was leveling up in the Nihonium dungeon killing the undeads. Then after getting tired he returns to the guild and a pretty boy approached him with two gorgeous ladies in both hands. Naturally it's a pissing off moment for single dudes like Ryouta. And there Neptune asked Ryouta for an arm wrestling match because he saw how he slapped that guy, so Ryouta fulfills his wish and both realized that their opponent had some strength. But in the end Ryouta defeated Neptune, but Neptune wanted to go for another round but Ryouta had enough because of the unwanted attention. So Neptune then attacked him and Ryouta showed him not to mess with him. It surprised everyone. Ryouta just blew off Neptune like a paper. And Neptune himself was impressed, so he invited Ryouta to join his family, but Ryouta rejected him, because he was enjoying his time with Emily. Emily was overjoyed to hear this. And then Ryouta returns to Nihonium and saw the princess again. That old man tells him that no one believed their air theory, so they made a new box which takes drop item itself and shows the person who found it. It was a nice product, so he gives some of it to Ryouta. Ryouta got an idea and brought back many items out of the dungeon which he wasn't able to before. So he lets them turn into Stray to defeat it again and get elemental bullets. However, Emily get there to tell him that a magical storm is approaching, so he returns to Urza to exchange his loot. And asks Urza about it. She tells him that it is a type of magical disruption storm, and all mages takes a day off at this time. But then a guy comes over to ask for help because his partner is stuck in a dungeon designed specifically for mages, but no one was willing to put their lives on the line for a stranger. So Ryouta steps up and gets to Silicon Dungeon with his elemental bullets. Then Emily returns to Guild and Urza told this matter to Emily, but Eve also heard that. So both girls runs off to help Ryouta. There Emily remembers and tells to Eve that her mother was just like Ryouta. She always helped out other adventurers in the dungeon. But then one day she sacrificed herself to kill a stray dragon to save others, and she witnessed it and took her mother outside for her to rest in peace, so this time she wants to help Ryouta anyhow. Meanwhile Ryouta got the girl and saw Emily and Eve brought back his bullets and strays, and with their assistance, they saved the girl. Then Ryouta used a healing bullet and the girl's life was no longer in danger. And with that episode 4 and 5 comes to an end, but please tell me in the comments section if you all want to watch more of this anime, and also please subscribe the channel and like the video.